We gotta do this fast. I have to go flip burgers. I wouldn't break even again today. We'll start here. 47. Okay, so I have to bid here at 09.75 because it's a good area to trade. I take a breakout short. Price hits against me. All these people liquidate 08.75, 09, 09.25. They get their stops ran and the auction shifts lower from the passive participant, and then price sells lower. And then I try to chase it out of the LVN and I scratch it because the bid is stale. The price action is just slow, and I'm just sitting pulling limits over and over again. I would much rather pull limits all morning than I would get in these trades and overcompensate, if that makes sense. I try to play 08.25 and she rallies without me after coming through the LVN on the low side, below Val, which is good. So I'm just like trying to get my feet wet, barely trying to get lucky fills. Then I flip short, tape stops there, and then I scratch. So I play both sides of the zone. It was an incorrect read in that I was too fast and kind of too antsy. If I held the one long on that, and then I flip it again. So I um, flip same zone 4 times, death by paper cuts. And then we rally. So if I just held it 08.25 and let the trade play out, I'd be somewhere. And then I took a short there. You should scratch it at yeah, at 08 because that's kind of an antsy short off of momentum into the LVN. I was playing the LVN. Now I'm playing the ledge 12.75. We come back up and it's time to scratch. Yeah, because we're gonna break out. And then I flip long on the scratch, which is really good actually. Surprising. And you should close like right there. At 14. A seller steps in and I think I scratch lower at around there. And then I'm just sitting on my hands. So I actually approve of most of my trading here, except for the paper cuts down at 08.25. It's also really boring watching the market, and so kind of like watching paint dry, to be honest. But this is a breakout trade that I almost certainly lose because we're outside of the value area. A balance is building, and then we eventually sell lower, and the market maker pulls it lower, even though there's no demand between 15.25 and 14.25. The inside prints are really thin. And then I flip short off the ledge, so hold the bottom. We rally up. And then I chase price again. And then we just form out this balance area at the previous LVN. So that's really not that bad. Just the paper cuts at the value area low is what the problem was. One flip short. Also kind of the rats in my head of knowing that I scratched like 1,000 trades today. That's a good flip short, and then I set my stop break even because if it comes back there, that invalidates the trade, and I scratch at 16. That's pretty good. Price moves lower, and we fill out the balance area. I flip short again on the edge of the balance area. I agree with that trade. Then I hold it longer. I wanted to take it to VPOC, and we get past VPOC, and NQ just sells off. Then they bid up on NQ. I was watching NQ to get out of this trade, and they rally, and they just trade VPOC. So that was a perfect exit and pretty solid entry at 16 evens. So I played that really well, and I'm actually seeing improvements with my trading, even though I went negative, even though I almost went negative. If I was trading on a real account, I'd go negative because of fees, but it would basically be break even. And then a breakout long, which was retarded. So faded on maybe twice. It was just a read of acceptance that was too fast. And if I'm going to break out long, it should be bid at 16.25. Notice how they defend the floor. They defend the floor at 16.25, 68.25, right there. Now we're going to break out, I think, because the balance area shifted. So rather than taking the breakout trade at 1875, I should have been in at 1625, which is the edge of the ledge. So skating and ledges before the breakout off a micro auction, a smaller auction in the upper, the distribution rather than playing the. Okay. And we got what I was looking for. And now I'm right here. I'm euphoric. I'm like, oh my goodness, I finally caught a run up the LVN. You know, we're going sky high. Tape stops. A seller steps in and I scratch for 5 ticks. And then they sell it lower and we form another auction. What was this? And the rest we just form out a balance. And I'm sitting here on my hands, which is a trade in itself, sitting on your hands. So that was pretty good. It's really not bad.